By 1215, Genghis Khan commanded one of the most powerful military forces in Asia, but after securing immense wealth from campaigns against the Jin dynasty, his immediate priority shifted toward opening up lucrative trade routes rather than waging endless war. Looking at this map of Asia in 1215, you can see the geopolitical landscape. To the east, the sprawling Mongol territory. To the west lies the Khwarezmian Empire. This vast state covered modern-day Iran, Uzbekistan, and Turkmenistan, acting as the wealthy, strategic gateway connecting east and west along the Silk Road. To tap into that wealth, Genghis Khan sent a massive diplomatic and commercial caravan right to the Khwarezmian border. The merchants arrived at Otrar, carrying luxury goods and a message proposing a peaceful, mutually beneficial trade alliance between the ruler of the East and the ruler of the West. This diplomatic gesture offered a rare chance to fuse the immense resources of the Eastern and Western medieval economies. Two superpowers could have dominated global commerce simply by cooperating. Instead, the governor of Otrar accused the merchants of being spies. He arrested the entire caravan, executed the traders, and confiscated their wealth. When the news reached Genghis Khan, he held back his army. He chose diplomacy over immediate revenge, sending a delegation of respected ambassadors directly to Shah Muhammad II. Their demand was straightforward: punish the rogue governor and restore peaceful relations. Shah Muhammad responded by executing the lead Mongol ambassador. The surviving envoys were humiliated and sent back to the steppe. In Mongol culture, ambassadors were sacred representatives of the ruler. Harming them was an attack on Genghis Khan's personal honor and cultural laws. The dispute over a border town's stolen goods evaporated, replaced by a blood debt that required a full-scale invasion to settle. In 1219, the Khwarezmian Empire held a massive advantage in population, terrain, and fortified cities against the 100,000-strong Mongol force. To overcome this, Genghis Khan divided his force into autonomous armies, penetrating from different directions, using a high-speed messenger network to coordinate synchronized attacks. This level of decentralized mobility meant Shah Muhammad could never leverage his larger army. The Mongols simply refused to give him a single concentrated front line to defend, forcing the Shah to spread his forces thin across the entire empire. The first target of this coordinated assault was Otrar. The Mongols violently breached the heavily fortified city's defenses with massive siege weapons, capturing the governor and subjecting him to a brutal, exemplary execution. The invasion then moved to Bukhara, a major center of Islamic learning. The city's defenders had prepared for a traditional, slow medieval siege, but they were overwhelmed by a rapid, unexpected strike. Upon capturing the city, Genghis Khan weaponized psychological terror. Gathering the surviving population, he declared himself the physical manifestation of divine punishment, sent to exact a toll for their ruler's sins. A clear psychological doctrine was established here. Any city that attempted resistance was guaranteed destruction, while immediate submission offered a calculated path to survival. The empire's ultimate stronghold was Samarkand, the heavily garrisoned jewel of Central Asia. Shah Muhammad placed his absolute confidence in these massive walls to halt the Mongol advance. The Mongols bypassed a direct assault, instead using deception and sustained psychological pressure to shatter the defenders' morale. Thousands of garrisoned soldiers surrendered or deserted before a traditional battle could even conclude. With his defenses crumbling, Shah Muhammad fled. The supreme emperor became an isolated fugitive, continuously hunted by Mongol units across his own territory until he was pushed off the mainland, dying on a small island in the Caspian Sea. The fall of Samarkand, combined with the Shah's flight, resulted in the immediate systemic collapse of the entire Khwarezmian defense infrastructure. The once mighty empire was completely broken. In just a few years, one of the wealthiest and most powerful states in the Islamic world was entirely erased from the map. This diagram highlights 4 pillars of the Mongol war machine making rapid conquest possible: decentralized command, severe military discipline, advanced intelligence, and environmental adaptability. Their adaptability was devastating. The nomadic army conquered different terrains by assimilating the engineering knowledge of the defeated. This campaign demonstrated that the Shah's traditional reliance on stone fortifications offered little security against an enemy that could coordinate mobile encirclement with psychological pressure. With the empire dismantled, Genghis Khan authorized a secondary mission: He sent two of his top generals, Subutai and Jebe, on an intelligence-gathering expedition thousands of miles beyond the newly conquered western borders. Looking at the macro-level map, the ingestion of the Khwarezmian Empire drastically expanded Genghis Khan's domain. His borders now stretched continuously from northern China deep into the Middle East, right up to the edge of Eastern Europe. A quest to avenge a murdered caravan transformed the Mongol army into a coordinated force, dismantling major empires in years rather than decades. These events set the stage for further expansions that would eventually redraw the political boundaries of the known world.